Public Law 90 through 269, March 18th, 1968. Uh, 82 stat. This is 63 stat 393. Section 4 of Section 302 of the Act of June 30th, 1949. See codified at 41 USC 252 is amended by adding thereto the following subsection: F. No contract for the carriage of government property in other than government-owned cargo containers shall require carriage of such property in cargo containers of any stated length, height, or width. Section 5 of Section 2304 of Title 10 of the United States Code is amended by adding thereto the following subsection H, except in a case where the Secretary of Defense determines that military requirements necessitate specifications of container sizes, no contract for the carriage of government property in other than government-owned cargo containers shall require carriage of such property in cargo containers of any stated length, height, or width. Approved March 16, 1968. We're at March 18, 1968. House Resolution 14743. That's 14743. Uh, an act to eliminate the reserve requirements for Federal Reserve notes and for United States notes and Treasury notes of 1890. It says gold reserve requirements. That's the footnotes. Elimination 59 stat 237. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled. Section 1, subsection C of Section 11 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 248C, is amended by striking both provisos and by striking the last sentence in such subsection. Section 2. The first sentence of Section 15 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 391, is amended by striking and the funds provided in this act for the redemption of Federal Reserve notes. That was 38 stat 265. Section 3 says 40 stat 236 at the footnote. Section 3, that part of the third paragraph of Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 413, which proceeds the last two sentences of such paragraph, is amended to read: Federal Reserve notes shall bear upon their face a distinctive letter or serial number, which shall be assigned by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System in each Federal Reserve Bank. These been repealed, it says on the footnote, section 4A. The first sentence of I redact that. Section 4A, the first sentence of the fourth paragraph of section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 414, is repealed. B, the sentence which prior to the repeal made by this section was the second sentence of such paragraph is amended by inserting immediately after the board the following of governors of the Federal Reserve System. It says repealed. Section 5, the sixth paragraph of Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 415, is repealed. Section 6, the fourth sentence of the paragraph which, prior to the amendments made by this act, was the seventh paragraph of Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 416, is repealed. Section 7, this paragraph which, prior to the amendments made by this act, was the 18th paragraph of Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, codified at 12 USC 467, is repealed. 48 Stat 340 for Section 8. Section 6 of the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, codified at 31 USC 408A, is amended by striking in the second proviso the paragraphs the reserve for United States notes and for Treasury notes of 1890 and the reserve for Federal Reserve notes shall be maintained in gold certificates and in credits payable in gold certificates maintained with the Treasurer of the United States under Section 16 of the Federal Reserve Act, as theretofore and by this act amended. Section 9, it says repeal in the footnotes. There are hereby repealed the sentences of subsection A of Section 43 of the Act of May 12, 1933, 48 Stat 31, 52, and 31 USC 821A, which read, no suspension of reserve requirements of the Federal Reserve Bank under the terms of Section 11C of the Federal Reserve Act necessitated by reason of operations under this section shall require the imposition of the graduated tax upon any deficiency in reserves as provided in said Section 11C, nor shall it require any automatic increase in the rates of interest or discount charged by any Federal Reserve Bank as otherwise specified in that section. And it says it's been repealed. Section 10, Section 2 of the Act of July 14, 1890. As Sec 10, Section 2 of the Act of July 14, 1890. 26 Stat 289 and 31 USC 408 and Section 2 of the Act of March 14th, 1900 at 31 Stat 45 are repealed. Section 11, Section 7 of the Act of January 30th, 1934, 48 Stat 341, codified 31 USC 408B, is amended by striking the phrase "and as a reserve for any United States notes and for Treasury notes of 1890, and also by striking the phrase "as a reserve for any United States notes and for Treasury notes of 1890," and Section 12, Section 14C of the Act of January 30th, 1934, 48 Stat 344, codified at 31 USC 405B, is amended by striking from the first sentence "except the gold fund held as a reserve for any United States notes and Treasury notes of 1890, approved March 18th, 1968. Public Law 90-270, an act, and it says March 21st, House Resolution 2901, and it says to designate, I can't see it, Ohi Reservoir of the Missouri River in the states of North Dakota and South Dakota as Lake Ohi. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled that the Ohi Reservoir of the Missouri River in the states of North Dakota and South Dakota shall be known and designated hereafter as Lake Ohi in honor of the Indian people who inhabited the great Missouri River basin. Any law, regulation, document, or record of the United States in which such reservoir is referred to by any other name shall be held and considered to refer to such reservoir by the name of Lake Ohi. Approved March 21st, 1968. We had Public Law 90-271, and it says March 21st, 1968. Oh, that's 889. San Rafael Wilderness, California. Designation 16 USC 1132. And this is an act to designate the San Rafael Wilderness Los Padres National Forest in the state of California. Be it enacted by the state and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled that in accordance with subsection 3B of the Wilderness Act of September 3rd, 1964, 78 Stat 891, the area classified as the San Rafael primitive area, with the proposed additions thereto as generally depicted on a map entitled San Rafael Wilderness Proposed, dated October 3rd, 1966, which is on file and available for public inspection in the office of the Chief Forest Service. Department of Agriculture is hereby designated as the San Rafael Wilderness within and as a part of the Los Padres National Forest, comprising an area of approximately 143,000 acres. And that's pretty much it. I can't see the rest, and that's it. Peace, peace.